I want to go ahead and make myself a workbench in this area of my garage because one, it's a mess, as you might be able to see. But then I want to not be working on this garage floor. Summers here in Texas are hot. Winters can be quite nippy, and my bones can't take it anymore. So I want to get myself a nice workbench area and then clean up this area that's behind me. So I am going to go ahead and start pulling from my wood pile because one of my biggest goals is to reuse, repurpose some of the wood or scrap wood that I have, and then just make things happen.
Before I could get started on anything, I needed to do a clean out of some wood scraps from my quick stationary workbench I built a while back. You can check some of that out on my Instagram feed linked in the description. Right now, what I'm doing is measuring and cutting all the legs needed for the table. I needed 4 legs, so I cut 8 pieces at 33 inches each piece. The length of your legs will be according to your preference. I'll link in the description the plans I used for making my workbench. Sidebar, I really need to learn how to make a stop block to help make cutting easier and faster, but sometimes, and oddly, it's the simple things that challenge me the most. Let me know in the comments if you have this challenge as well, where the simplest things seem to be the hardest things to grasp. You can also let me know if you have any questions. Here's a tip for putting together the legs. Using a scrap 2x4 piece adjusted under the top 2x4 that is being connected to the bottom 2x4. I know, it sounds like a lot, but flow with me here. It helps keep the 2 separate pieces stable while pre-drilling my holes as well as when drilling in the screws. You'll see coming up. All right, this D.I.trY is fairly straightforward so far, so I'm giving it 5 hammers. We have a church event we need to go and attend, so I have to scoot, but I did go ahead and cut all the legs and put them together. So when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and finish out the workbench. I will go ahead and link, why am I saying go ahead so much? Anyway, I'm going to link the D.I.trY inspiration for this workbench in the description. I did deviate from it a little bit. I'm hoping that that deviation will not mess me up. I'll let you know when I'm done. I do think that this is a weekend project. We've just had so much going on this weekend that I haven't really had a chance to get to it, but I think it's something that can really be done in pretty much a day. So, okay. I'll be back. I initially wanted to reuse some of the wood that I have in my garage that's on another workbench and that I have stored in my wood pile, but the pieces were warped, so I'm going to reuse the parts that I can reuse. Otherwise, got my wood right here. Went ahead and bought some more wood. I still have other projects coming up outside of this workbench where I know I'm going to need 2x4s, and so I'm going to be good about using all that I have as much as I can before I buy any more. But I knew I was going to need some more wood regardless, right? Because of those warped pieces, and that just wouldn't work out well for the workbench. So soon, baby, we gonna be up and operating. In this spring, coming spring, honey, we are making things, boo. Oh yeah, let's D.I.trY. Now I'm going to cut the pieces needed to make the top and bottom frames of the workbench. Now I'm working on the frames. This is another deviation I took from the linked plans used for my workbench. I pre-drilled pilot holes and used 2-inch screws to put both my top and bottom frames together. You can also use pocket holes, but I wanted to make this workbench as inexpensive as possible. Okay, now I have both of the frames built, so I need to assemble it, but first I have to go and pick this kid up from practice to take her to another practice, so be right back. With all the legs built and the 2 frames made, top and bottom, I am now pre-drilling holes for my 2-inch screws that will be used to attach the legs to what will become the bottom frame of the workbench. I just left the tool supply store and got my plywood cut. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a good build, a good workbench build, because I did not have to wait forever plus a day for someone to come and cut the wood. Like, he was already back there, ready to rock and roll. I'm so excited. Let's make a workbench. My lunch breaks are made for quick trips to the hardware store, and I try to get as much done in the little time that I have. You can see me right here struggling with the plywood, but guess what? I'm gonna make it happen. Now that the legs are attached to the bottom frame, I am taking the smallest piece of plywood that I had cut down at the hardware store and fitting it into place. Again, this will serve as the bottom shelf of the workbench and will be used for storage. In like manner to my 2x4 wood pieces, I pre-drilled holes in the bottom part of the workbench and then followed it up with adding the screws. Now, instead of waiting for my daughter to get home, I'm going to go ahead and attach the top frame of the workbench because it's just too much type right for me to wait. While I finish adding these screws to what is actually the top of the workbench, take a moment to hit that thumbs up if you're liking the content so far, and if you're like me and wanted to learn how to D.I.trY DIYs in and around your home, as well as welcome living a genuine lifestyle, take a moment to hit that subscribe button now for more DIY and genuine lifestyling content. Now it's time to put on the wheels of the workbench so that I can move this baby all around the garage as needed. From my scrap pile, I was able to cut a 2x4 down into 5-inch blocks to place on the bottom legs of the workbench. As I mentioned, I am giving this D.I.trY 5 hammers because it's definitely a beginner-friendly DIY where you can use all 2x4s and screws. This is so exciting to finally be putting the wheels on this baby. Ooh! Wait until you see the finished product. Watch this, it's coming together, y'all. This flip of the workbench had me so excited. We are on the final stretch, things are coming together, and soon I am going to have me a movable workbench. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Are you? Once again, I'm going through pre-drilling holes and then going back and adding my screws to the top of the workbench. I want the MDF to, of course, stay on because when we get started on our projects, honey, we need a sturdy surface, okay? See back here amongst another mess, oh my gosh, is this little workbench in the corner. But my dilemma is because of the wall right there, when I have materials that I need space for back there or even space down there, or sometimes I need to be able to have the table to come all the way out, I don't have enough room. So that's why I want to clean all of this up for one, because it's ridiculous. But then I want to be able to utilize this space for a workbench that has more storage, more space, and can get all of this. As a single mom, I hope to inspire and encourage other single parents to live in color. More DIYs and genuine lifestyling headed your way. Like, subscribe, and check out our playlist. Share your thoughts in the comments.